Hey, it's Chris. I'm the host of the Between Dreams podcast, which is a collection of stories and interviews from amazing people that I meet to inspire you to go out there and do something creative and amazing. I talk to everything from jugglers and magicians to musicians and authors. And one thing that's common is everyone seems to have similar struggles and similar things that they are challenged by. And we kind of get to the bottom of those and share how to overcome them and how to break through and make things happen. Today, we're going to give a little bit of a behind the scenes of how the podcast happens, because I know a lot of people, and no matter what world you're in, a lot of people want to start a podcast, and podcasting is awesome. It allows you to meet amazing people and really develop the work that you want to develop. But I know some people struggle with knowing where to start. How do I get started? And so much of my work is getting past that, encouraging people to get past that I don't know how to do this phase and just get started, because no one knows how to do anything. I started doing the show, I didn't know how to do it, I just figured it out. I want to give you an idea of how the whole thing comes together, and this won't be an in-depth description of any of the individual pieces, which if you are wondering about any of the individual parts of how to record and what gear to use, anything like that, you can leave a comment below and let me know which piece you would like to hear about, and we'll make a video about that. First question is, what do I record on? We have the Zoom H6 right here, and that's actually what we're recording sound into right now. And I left it in the shot so you can see that this is the actual audio coming off the Zoom H6 right now. So this is what you're hearing. And this is awesome if I'm doing voiceovers. I go right into the Zoom H6. And then if I'm doing an interview with 2 people or more people, I actually use a couple of these. These are Behringer, just handheld, and I have foam windscreen on top. These are there's like a pack of 3, I think it comes in, and it's under $50. So these are like pretty much the most inexpensive microphone that you can possibly buy, and they actually sound okay. And I'll plug these straight into the Zoom H6, and I'll record wave files on separate tracks so I can tweak them afterwards. And then I bring everything into my project here in Adobe Audition is what I edit my podcast in. If you don't have Audition, you can use free programs. Audacity is a free one that you can use, but I find that Adobe Audition just works really well, and it's really simple, and I use other Adobe products, so I kind of understand the workflow and how things work. So I basically have a template built in Adobe Audition, and that has the like my little intro music, a few sound effects that I use in the, so right here would be my intro music and my outro music. Those are the clips there. These are some little sound effects that I use coming in and out. And then what I will do is drag my 2 tracks of this interview was me and another person, Eric Buss, this episode was with. And what I'll do is just drag those into 2 separate channels. Or 2 separate tracks, and I don't do very much editing on the audio, but I do this kind of like a little trio. What I'll do is a multi-band compressor, and what I'll do is I'll click on broadcast, and then that kind of gives you a starting point, and then I tweak it a little bit. One thing that I do is come over to threshold and usually go to about -16 or so. That if you want to learn more about what all of these things are doing with the specific tweaks and stuff, that's for another video. If you're interested in that, leave a comment. We can go into more of that if you're interested. So yeah, basically go to presets. I go to broadcast, and the only thing that I usually tweak out is I bump that up to -16 dB. Close that out. Parametric equalizer, I usually just go into here and do like the vocal enhancer. I really don't think that this does very much for how I record. I can barely hear a difference, but It seems to maybe smoothen out the voices just a little bit. I figure it probably won't hurt to add it. And then finally I add the hard limiter, and that's usually I usually go to I hit the limit to -3 dB, which that kicks it up to a 6 dB input, but that's usually too much for my thing, so I'll go to about a 2 dB increase and a -3 dB max. What this is doing is maxing, it's making it so the maximum amplitude of any voice is only going to hit -3 dB, so it's not going to max out to up to 0. -3 dB, for me, it works. You could play with that, and I usually don't need much of an input boost of there, because the multi-band compressor is kind of doing a good job of bringing low volumes up. So that's how it goes, and then I'll have these 2 tracks, and then I just cut out like this conversation that you're seeing here is already edited, so it goes from about 6 minutes to 35 minutes, so it's about a 30-minute interview, and you can see here that I didn't do much cuts. I cut here one little thing at the end because there was a weird little or a cough or something that happened, and a little bit of edits here at the beginning to see that there was, as we got started, it was they're usually a little bit slow getting started, so I had to tweak a little bit out right there. And then as you're editing, I just listen, and if there's like bad parts of it that I need to cut out, I just chop them out and bring it all together. Again, we can do another video of specific parts. If there's a specific thing that I'm talking about that you would like me to expand on in another video, leave a comment below, and I will address that like individual question in another video for you. But yeah, then as you're editing, you just can hit and it goes.
I think you should be impatient with yourself, because, in a positive way, because so many people talk about doing things forever. Stop talking and go buy the trick.
There you go. That's a good advice right there. Stop talking about it. Stop wondering and go try it. Go try to figure something out. If you want to start a podcast, start a podcast. Don't worry about all of this stuff. You can literally take out your phone and your voice memos, start talking to it, and upload that audio. Like, there's no reason to worry about not knowing how to do this, or not knowing if you have the right gear, or whatever it is. You got to get out there and make things happen and get started. And if you have any questions, please send a comment, or we're actually just set up the voice mailbox. So if you have a specific question that you'd like me to answer on one of these upcoming videos, you can call. Don't worry, I won't actually answer the phone. You won't actually have to talk to anyone, but you can leave a voicemail or send a text message to the number that is on the screen right now. No one will answer. Don't worry, you don't need to like make sure your voice is warmed up or anything. No one's gonna answer, but I will listen to it, and we will address those questions in the next video, that we're going to be talking a little bit more about gear and audio and video and how I make the things that I do through the podcast and the YouTube videos. So again, if you have any specific questions about cameras, audio, software, leave a comment. Let me know what you want to hear. And if you got something that you like out of this, make sure you do all the things that I'm supposed to tell you to do on YouTube. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're not. Tell a friend. Okay, thank you, and we'll be back with more videos. Goodbye.